started a little bit early. Just because no point waiting around a few extra minutes for no reason. Okay, so just to preface some stuff, in the event of anybody who's watching the VODs, because, well, I haven't really mentioned this, I think, enough, or much at all. So I stream this on a few different sites. I stream on Twitch, I stream on Kick, and I stream on YouTube. Mostly just to give myself more potential exposure, I guess is the best way to put it. I think, personally, Twitch and YouTube, by far the primaries. One, I have a Twitch channel that's been around for quite some time. Sorry, I had followers previously. I don't know if any of them actually watch anymore, but it exists. And YouTube, because same thing. Got a long time channel. Kick, I'm just trying out. I don't know how that's going to work out in the long run, but figure the more places, the better. Now, just to follow up on other things, I'm also changing my stream schedule. Best place to see what my current stream schedule is going to be Twitch or Kick. But for anybody who is watching, my current intended stream schedule, specifically for Pathfinder, is all based on Mountain Time, because that's my time zone. But noon till 3, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. And then 2 till 6 on Saturdays and Sundays. Those ones going to be kind of a 50-50, because Saturdays and Sundays are my group's campaign days. So they're both on bi-weekly. So we do alternate weekends. So Saturday is Return of the Rune Lords, and then Sundays are Age of Ashes, and they'll go back and forth. So the days that I'm not doing one, I'll be doing campaign stuff, typically. Now, our group can be pretty flaky, so at times they will bail, like last Sunday. Last Sunday was supposed to be an Age of Ashes day, but someone had some stuff come up, and so I just streamed campaign design. But I'm also a big gamer nerd. So what that means is that I like to play video games. That will always be on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays between 5 and 8 Mountain Time. Currently, and probably ongoing, it's going to be Final Fantasy 14, because it's 100% my favorite MMO. I've been complaining about not being able to afford to play it, and I can't. But I bit the bullet, and I'm doing it anyways. That just is what it is. Alright. Do we have some royalty-free music that's got a good playlist? Hopefully. There we go. May have to adjust the volume of this as we go. Now, the campaign, I've mentioned this before in the past, but I've not gone into this much detail, and since noon is my technical start time, I don't mind rambling a little bit. Actually, let's go into something else first. For those who are in the VOD and want to watch what I'm doing without a lot of the wasted space that can happen, my bathroom breaks, me rambling like I am now, stuff like that, I'd suggest going to YouTube and posting in the comments. I am considering starting to do some edited content, meaning trimming down the campaigns, removing dead space, stuff like that, as well as potentially the campaign stuff. And if you are an FGU user or new to FGU and are looking to know how I do certain things or learn certain things, I've also considered possibly making videos on that. But that's going to be one of those, I don't want to make videos unless there's an actual reason to. So it kind of have to be like almost on request. Or at least I'd have to see that there is interest in putting that work in. Anybody who's been watching the previous VODs will know that I'm dealing with some health stuff. I'm always dealing with health stuff. It's my curse. I've been dealing with health stuff for 15 years. Fortunately, it's never been... Fortunately and fortunately. On the fortunate side, it's never been bad enough that completely debilitates me long term. The unfortunate part is because it does not debilitate me long term. Since in the Canadian healthcare system, you don't get much help. So, as long as the doctor can presume that you will get better, and this is a presumption that you will get better, they really don't do a whole lot. My doctor does the best he can, but yeah, our healthcare system is free, but you get what you pay for, unfortunately. Mind you, I'd be long dead if I had to pay for my healthcare, because no way I could afford it under the American system. I keep getting nickeled and dimed. Now, right now, my stream schedule is going to be this way. Oh, for anybody wondering why I'm constantly putting eye drops in my eyes, is I have what's called keratoconus disease, which means that my eyes are, my corneas specifically, are heavily deteriorated to the point where without the hard contact lenses, I qualify as legally blind. But because I have, again, comes down to the I'm not bad enough. I think things are bad, but not bad enough. Because I can wear corrective lenses, I am not classified as legally blind. Now, the moment I stop being able to afford my contacts, which is at this point going to be next year when I have to get a new prescription, I will be blind, but because corrective lenses can potentially fix it, I'm not going to get any help, which really sucks, but it is what it is. I'm just getting everything set up. Like I said, I decided to boot up early just because. I think that's enough complaining for the moment. Oh, and I have massive kidney issues. Again, not bad enough yet. I get to look forward to surgery in the next couple months to get some stuff dealt with. If successful, things will be slightly better. If unsuccessful, they won't be. You'll notice I'm a very large man. I am working on that. I used to be significantly larger than I am now. 100 pounds more than I am now. Something I'm working on, but being a fatty like me, it makes it a little bit rough because your body does not want to lose the weight at all. It is very unhappy about it. And your body's just, I'm in my 40s, so my body's not happy. I've got impingement on my right shoulder. I've got Achilles tendonitis in my left ankle. I've got well, it's an ACL damage in both knees, but that goes all the way back when I was younger. So, I have a lot wrong with me. Not here to complain necessarily, but figure the more people know about me, the more, I don't know, my random complaints will make sense. Like when I do one of these, because my shoulders start seizing up on me. People notice because of impingement. When I need to stand up, it's because my knees are locking up on me because of the ACLs. People wonder why I'm so big. Well, that's because 15 years I've had medical problems. I've had multiple surgeries. Lots of problems, and I'm still recovering from it. It's easy to gain the weight. Something that people don't realize is it's very, very, very easy to gain the weight. You tend to forget. And food is a great comfort, something I've had to teach myself to stop. Okay. There is no treasure. Might as well get in on this now. There's no treasure in here anymore because I removed the treasure. What else do I need to do? I have to add in clues and deductions. Kind of crashed real hard on Sunday when I was doing this. I'm on medication that makes me really tired, which I'll be done tonight is my last pill. So hopefully I will be better by Thursday, except I'll probably be seeing the doctor on Thursday, so I probably won't be streaming. And the doctor will put me on something even stronger, most likely. So we'll see how that works. Just reading what ChatGPT had suggested from last time. And I guess I'm not going to add this last part suggest because it kind of after the battle. But I don't really want to have what it has. I'm still not sure how I want to pretty up everything. I do want to learn advanced the storyboard stuff, but I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, this one talks about treasure. Clues. Okay, what were my prompts on this one before? As you examine the chart heads dangling from the candelabrum, notice that while most of them bear signs of physical deformities, evidence of the unfortunate patients who once reside here, one head is different. It lacks deformities present in the others. Upon closer inspection, realize this head likely belonged to Dr. Brad himself. What does the book want for it? Okay. We're going to go with a critical success, and then the critical failure as per usual. So there's a couple tidbits here. And how do I want to present it? Okay. So on a success, they can find the unbroken vial. Okay, we're gonna put that here. We find one unbroken vial. Okay. On a critical success, they find the same as a success, but they notice that the heads on the candelabra, what do they find? Examine. Examine charred head. And shards of. Okay, we're just gonna copy and paste, and we'll just. Okay, on a critical failure. What do they find on critical failure? What would be good? Include display. Does it say why the gas came here? Okay, just a gang. So that's what we're gonna go on a critical failure. Hello, person that is supposed to be working. Okay. At least I know Kick's working right now. I can never tell sometimes. And some people, for some reason, don't show up. But at least I know it's working. Let's see. On a critical failure, you check. You find that the gas might be the former patients. As they have similar deformities and some are wearing hospital clothes as part of their wardrobe. Okay, let's see what we get of this. I don't know. Sure. It's a little bit more embellished than I really want, but embellishment can be fun. Okay. DC 15 is a suggestion, so 15 typically is moderate, so we're gonna go DC 16 search, which is basically equal level. No point making it harder, no point making it easier. As you search, you know something glinting in the dim light. Roll into a corner. You find an unbroken vial with shattered glass. Label is partially burnt and damp, but you can still make out. This could be a vital clue in a connection between Sanctuary and these mysterious figures. Sure. Okay, critical success. As you examine the grisly scene further, your eyes are drawn to the charred heads dangling from the candelabrum. Most of the heads display clear signs of physical deformities, twisted by whatever affliction brought them here. One head stands out, and like the others, it bears no deformities. You realize with a shiver that this head likely belonged to Dr. Brada himself, and is the victim of this tragedy. The reason why I'm going to allow this one a critical success is because it's not really important to find Dr. Brada's head unless they actually want to spend the money on talking to corpses, which needs to be a critical success to find, because that pretty much guarantees a lot. Same for the patients who were said to have died in the fire. Tired remnants of hospital clothes that they were once the very patients who were treated here. It seems these unfortunate souls might have been transformed into the very monsters used fought, which is a lie. But whole point of a critical failure is to give misleading information, but not enough to the point where it's like gonna derail everything. Like this, them knowing this doesn't really lead anywhere. It might get them to go after Carl, which will be interesting. 2- Sanctuary, return to Carl. Okay, so create for me an image of the gas hiding behind the crates, the cellar, as well an image of an individual ghast. Before the fight starts. Let's get this done while it does that. 2- Sanctuary, the cellar. That's more modern day. The gas should be the crates usually seen as described for the cellar. The room itself is 25 feet by 90 feet. 90 feet. All of the crates should be on the ground and not stacked. This should be trying to hide behind them. See if they give me a better image. Sometimes ChatGPT gives me things that are weird. Don't mind the individual gas image though. I may actually use it. Oh, that one's not bad. Hmm. Oops. For the individual gas, use a full body picture. Gas are too nice looking. Why are they so nice looking? That's what I want to know. There we go. Those are gas that should be good. It's, yeah. Yeah, I'm more happy with that. Okay, this is the image we're going to use for our ghasts. Might need to tokenize it because it is pretty big. Whispering Way, nope. Pathfinder campaigns, Whispering Way, book 2, monster. Gas. Do I want to make it more fantasy based like the others? Nah, we're good. Bring this down. Let's grab our token maker. Nah, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. Okay, how about gas? Encounter seller for gas. I want these to be level 0. Okay. Which ones are mine? This is mine. Maybe? This was mine. Unlock you. Drag you there, drag you there, drag you there. Oh, drag you there. Move that to text. Create map record. Lock. Oops. That was not what I wanted to do. Okay, cast image. Okay, cast image. Okay, that's good. We can close that. Okay, now we need to de-level some ghasts. Building creatures. These need to be level 0. Attributes. 3 to 0. That's a 1. So -1 on this one. This one is 1. This is a 0. This is a 1. This is a 2. Perception of an 8 goes down to a 6. Okay, skills of 10 go down two of them. 7 goes down 2. Goes down 2. And goes down 2. It's not always 2, but in this case it is. Okay, AC 18 goes to 16. Because some levels actually act a little bit weird and change things. 6 turns into a 4. A 10 goes down 2 as well. So in this case, it looks like everything just goes down 2. I'm not going to just automatically assume. I'm going to actually go through the chart. A 30. Nope, 30. Here we go. We'll go 15, which is average. Okay, resistances, immunities, not a problem. Strike attack. 11 goes down to 8. See, this case is down 3. So that's why it matters. Because 5% is not small. Strike damage, 1d6 plus 5. So it's got 2 additional, so I'll give it 1 additional. So it should be 1d4 plus 2. This one is 1d4 plus 5. This one goes down 1 die. So 1d3 plus 2. Okay, saves DC. This one up here. The stinky aura. And we have a 16, which is kind of one above moderate, so we'll give it a 14. Okay, don't need to change anything else there. Does this thing have any guidance on those? 3d6 goes down to 1d10. I'm tempted to just leave gas fever as is because of the disease. Probably change the DC though. But everything else keep it the same. Just change the virulence to match the creatures. Because I do not believe gas fever's damage changes on the level of the gas. So if they ever meet gas again in the long distance future, they're going to find that things like diseases, certain diseases are going to not scale. I could scale it. I should scale it. Yeah, because I'm going to have that problem later on, so. supposed to be up 1 die. So this will be 1d12. Okay. This can also go down to 14. Okay, that is our ghast. And how many are we supposed to have? We are supposed to have 4. This is not a small fight. Okay. We are going to spread these bad boys around. There we go. Sanctuary, or the cellar is done. Okay, so some things that they might want to go back to Carl. The players decide to return to Carl to answer more questions. Okay, new task. After exploring the sanctuary at Carb the players may have more questions for Carl. Need help in setting up the scenes and answering the questions using various documents provided. Scene 1. The players returning to Carl's house. Scene 2. Oh man, my knuckles usually don't crack that much. Oh, let's mark this off as complete. Yay. Jeez. So I got a whole bunch to do still. Scene 2. This is a roleplay encounter with Carl. I do not know if the players will ask these questions or in what order. So each question needs to be handled as separate instances. The players may have the following questions. I need answers based on Carl's perspective and experiences. Question 1. What are the suggestions here? Both papers and strongbox. They may ask about the papers Papers in the strong box. Question 2. I just had something happen on my stream. I'm guessing somebody followed. Thank you. Wow. Interesting. You are registered within Twitch as a restricted user, Sophia Jack. I'm curious why that is. It's not a good thing if you're set up as a restricted user, because people who use a program like I use to filter chats automatically do not allow you to speak in those chats. So for example, your chat right now I do not believe is viewable. Well, if many people are banning you, did you ever wonder why or do anything about maybe not doing whatever it is that got you banned in the first place? Or are you just intending on coming to my chat now to repeat the process? Oh, that's why. That makes sense. Here, let's there we go, and there. No point ruining a trend, right? Because when somebody says, oh, they're here to help get you affiliate, they usually mean bots. And when people are here looking for work, well, that is not me. Do not go to new streamers asking for money. Because new streamers will be stupid and give you money, thinking that will somehow help them grow, and it won't help them grow. I've been at this long enough, off and on, to know that that does not help you grow. So all you're doing as a graphic designer then is taking advantage of people who are hoping Twitch becomes their meal ticket. And they're too naive to realize that do this for fun, don't do this for money. If you get lucky, you'll get money. But ultimately, that's not what you should be doing it for. Let's see. Well, we'll see what ChatGPT says about the Carl thing. May ask what specifically Dr. Brada was doing. At the sanctuary. Question 3. They, yes, YouTube, I am still listening. Problem with me losing my YouTube or canceling my YouTube subscription as I get commercials. If they describe the shambling man skin to him, what else might they ask? Shambling man's skin, which Carl can actually answer. The papers. Question 4. What does he know about Vorstag and Grind's Chimic works? Okay, let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. Okay. I like this so far. You soon arrive at the small weathered cottage by the river. The once peaceful scene now feels laden with the burden of unanswered questions. The thin wisp of smoke still rises from a chimney, indicating that Carl is home. The garden, overgrown and wild, seems to have a certain melancholy to it, matching the tone of your thoughts. As you approach the door and knock, the wood creaks slightly under your hand. It's not supposed to be a happy return, because they should have some questions. You gotta remember that they might have questions of the sisters too, but I don't think there's anything to go with over there. A moment later, the door opens slowly, and Carl stands before you. His blindfolded eyes turn towards you, his expression makes curiosity and concern. I've got to keep that in there just because it's a punny. Oh. Calmly, back again. I didn't expect to see you so soon, says the blind man. I like that. Okay. If they ask about the papers in the strongbox, papers, you say. Dr. Braddock kept many records, always writing things down in his notebooks. He was meticulous in his research, especially in those last months, but I never saw what was in that box specifically. Kept it locked away, always wary of prying eyes. Whatever was in there must have been important to him, but if he found the name Vorksang Grind, I can only assume it had something to do with the deals he was making. Deals I wasn't privy to. Perfect. The book knows. Or the ChatGPT is learning. Because it's important to make sure that the players get the accurate information. Well, we are going to put the Sanctuary one down here. And we're going to close this. Close this. Next one. If they ask about the work being done in the sanctuary. Though they might ask this one beforehand, it's hard to say. Okay, with a heavy sigh, Dr. Beretta, he was a good man, but his methods, they grew darker over time. He started with noble intentions, trying to cure those with madness and deformity. As his frustration grew, he began experimenting with less ethical treatments. He would sometimes disappear in the cellar for hours, sometimes days. He never asked too many questions, and he never volunteered answers. All I knew was that he was trying to fix those poor souls, but then That went wrong. Whatever he's doing, it wasn't natural. Alright. I can withhold this information. And I think it would be valid to do so. We're going to do this one first. If they ask what he knows about Vorkstag and Grimes. Works. Okay, his expression grows darker. Vorkstag, Grimes, yes, I remember them. The alchemists of a sword, always dealing with strange chemicals and odd contraptions. They came to this sanctuary from time to time, usually at night, always secretive. Dealt with them directly. You can tell much more, but whatever dealings Brada had with them didn't end well. If you're investigating them, be careful. They're not to be trusted. Okay. At this point in time, the players are already going to have their suspicions with Vorkstag and Grimes, so I don't mind tipping them off that maybe you should take measures. Okay, if they describe to him the Shambly skin, they retrieve it from Vorkstag and Grimes. Look at confused past his face as he listens. The Shambly Man, I am not sure, but what you described sounds like that creature I saw escaping the flames. I only caught a glimpse before the fire blinded me, but was hulking and misshapen, sitting together from nightmares. I thought it was the beast, but maybe it was something else, something more monstrous, more unnatural. Last thing you found, it might be what killed Brada and what started the fire. He cannot necessarily confirm, but it is absolutely reasonable doubt. And that's all that matters, because it is a trial. Okay, we're good on that. I might have more things to come up with later, but for now... For now, that's good enough for Carl. I'll try to see if there's any more reason to have more stuff. Okay, so now this next part, in theory, should be relatively quick. Okay, we're gonna do new one, upload a file. My book, Try the Beast. Upload a file. Rules of Fear. Okay. There's these documents to help with Pathfinder, the 2E campaign. Okay, use the documents and the following to assist with the various tasks I need help with for my campaign. Okay, we do definitely want to do some gather information stuff. Just copying and pasting all the various stuff directly from the book to increase the chances of accuracy. Though a bunch of this stuff is basically going to be tossed out. Because I'm not doing all the different combats. I'm not doing a lot of the stuff that's in here. So, there we go. And that's everything. Let it research this. This isn't what I asked for, but I'll let it type out what it's typing out and see what it's going to give me. Maybe it's got some interesting tidbits to help me. Cool. It's got some interesting tidbits. Okay, so how do I want to set this up? One, I'm going to quickly go to the bathroom and put some thought into this. So, be right back. So, a known secret of bathroom breaks. Going to the bathroom actually causes you to think easier. It's actually a scientific fact that your brain works better. So, with my brain working better, we gotta make these. I think I've got it figured out. Carl admits to knowing of V and G. I need to redo all these anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Trial of the Beast. Carl. Carl recognizes shambling man's skin. Beast. Bleach vial in cellar from V and G. The Beast. Talking corpse on Brada skull. Okay, I just want to make sure I have this done. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to actually make a shopping list. So we want to set up Chimic Works map. That has got to be number 1. Set up, gather information on Chimic Works. Because I think, because there's a bunch of rumors, but I want to give the players a chance if they want to do some rumor hunting, which might give them some hints on what they might face. Alright, so intro description for Chimic Works. Alright. So I can just do this. E1, including E1 description, E1 combat, E2 description, E2 combat, E3 description, E4 description, E4 combat, 5, E6, E6 combat, E7, E7 combat. Because there's not combat in every single one of these that the book says there is. E9 combat, E10 combat, E11 12, 13. Is there any 14? No. Okay, what else might I have to do? Do all the chimic works. Should be... investigation tags for G, which I guess I could technically do now. Actually, I think the surgeon's tool's already done. Yeah, I think so. I'll double check that. Anything else I need to do on this? Because after I'm done that, then I have to do these. These are going to take me a while. They really are. But this shouldn't take me too long. I could, in theory, get this done relatively quickly if I don't keep messing around. Okay, first things first. Set up Trimix work map. Okay. Okay, need to go to the actual maps and figure out the actual ratios that we're working with for our grid. I think the water might be the easiest. Yeah, maybe. Let's try that. How many is it supposed to be? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. That's definitely not 40. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Nope. Let's go 20. Maybe? Might be need to be a little bit smaller. That seems to line up pretty good. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Maybe 21. Hmm, 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, 35, no. 21.5? No. 20.5. That seems more accurate. 4 across. Huh? Okay, this is weird. Why do I have a different map here? What the heck? Why is this the wrong map? I'm missing a section and I don't know why. Okay. Well, we're gonna get rid of this. Why though? Weird. Okay. Yeah, because it's missing this part right here. That was really weird. No. Oh, that's why. Okay. That was weird. I don't get it, but it is what it is. Okay. Huh. The proportions are different now. Because 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, 35. Yeah, that's weird. Let's go 18. Okay, let's go 15. Nope. 17. 17's got potential. Bigger or smaller? Bigger. Just nudge it there. Maybe do some more nudging. 3 here, 4 here. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. So, let's give us some walls. That is an outer wall. Yeah, I guess we'll leave the windows. Do we leave the windows? Yeah. mostly just for light. Doesn't have to be perfect. Not sure why I'm trying to make it perfect. Technically the fence technically the fence. You know what? I think I'm gonna toggleable wall. Yeah. Okay, let's go add some windows. Let's turn off the toggle on it. I want them to get some fancy ideas. I also need to remember something else. Line of sight stuff is going to be a problem. Okay. How to describe the fence? Stone wall. Okay. Yeah, they're not climbing up over that thing. Start adding some doors. Okay. I do believe that's how the train is supposed to work. Now, how do I want to handle these? Okay, that's when you're on ground level. Okay, when you go down here, you go down into here. At which point, you can't see the people above. Yes. Block line of sight. Actually, just easier to do this. know it's going to cause some problems because in theory they'll be able to, but they won't be of the same elevation, and I don't know. I will figure it out. I also have to see a line of sight. Actually, having them on different levels will allow me to control that too. So I'll be able to go, no, you can, or yes, you can. DM Fiat for that one. Window, non-toggleable. That way they don't start trying to cross over. Okay, back here. We'll put a window here so they can cross here. Why do I get the impression that this switched over to non-copyright? Got something long on here. Let's it's an hour. I need something longer. Sure. Yep, this one's good. So I want a way of controlling their movement up here as well. My players have a thing for not understanding how to properly move. I'll deal with it on the fly. This is the upper. How do you get up to the upper? There's gotta be a way. That one gets you there. Does this one get you up? No. How do you get up there? Huh. How are you supposed to get up there? Cell lock. Okay, the ceiling is another 20 feet above. Okay, door from area E1 opens to a narrow stone platform 15 feet above the floor and 20 feet above ground level. At cellar level, a locked door. Okay. How do we get up to E5-ish? Okay, maybe it's under E4. It's gotta be under E4. How do they get up there? Our marked A contain acid, while the other 4 vats marked B hold bleach. All these chemicals are still being processed. Are not concentrated enough to be used as weapons. Oh, my knee's bugging me. I went on the elliptical today and I'm paying for it, but I have to. At night, trying to make perception checks. How? This goes up. I know it doesn't go down. Yeah, this goes to here. These ladders all match. But do they go up another level then? Well, at the ground level, a series of planks are being laid across the vast, allow passage to a ladder that leads to an iron walkway on the level above. That's nice from the planks to the floor below. So where is this ladder? A series of planks have been laid across the vast to allow passage to a ladder that leads to an iron walkway. So where do I think this ladder is going to be? It doesn't say. This is where things start taking a long time because I'm trying to decipher. Fork stag study. I guess the ladder's wherever I want. That's what pretty much is indicating here. Because I'm not seeing another ladder, and it's not indicating another ladder. Ceiling is another 20 above. 3 vats marked A. Doesn't really matter. The planks between the vats are remember that if any K. The door from area E1 opens on a narrow stone platform 15 feet above the floor. The ceiling is another 20 feet above ground level. It's cellar level. Okay, east area. 3 vats marked. Okay, all these chemicals are still being processed. 10 inches wide and a DC 10 acrobatic check is required to cross them. Remember that if any PC takes damage, we'll balance on the planks. Okay, furnaces, fuel ads. With the ground floor level, a series of planks have been laid across the vast to allow passage to a ladder that leads to an iron walkway on the level above. Okay, so that's obviously somewhere around here. It makes sense that you could go up this ladder and maybe in this corner. But the fact it doesn't indicate... Unless this is... No, because that one goes down to the floor. Yeah, this one goes from here onto that vat, so it couldn't go here, because... Yeah. So where do I want this ladder to be? That is the real question now. Where do I want the ladder to be? Because it has to be... somewhere here. Maybe here? I could do that, but that'd be... Okay, that's gonna be the ladder. Hopefully that doesn't ruin everything. I could just copy and paste the ladder here, but I'm not sure if I want to go that far. When in doubt, go the lazy route. Okay. That took way more time than I would have liked, but oh well. No point not knowing what's going on if I can help it. Also, it doesn't help that my meds are already halfway through my stream, and my meds are already making me crash. Something about sitting up, it causes some issues with your blood flow. These meds, blood pressure, I guess is a better way of putting it. Okay, let's get these doors on. Also, talking's going to cause issues too, but we are going to tough this out. Okay, let's get some windows on here. No toggle. Okay, windows are done. We're gonna put a window right here as well, so that they don't try to kamikaze over. Okay, that part's done. Close that for now. Okay, let's get some doors. Somehow I forgot to put walls on this one. All right. I think that is all my line work. We're gonna I think it's add global mask. Oh. Reveal area. Might be something I might want to do. Oh, I guess I did forget some stuff. You don't care about the windows. Oh, this section. Okay. Back to the mask. There. You guys can have sunlight. Everything else, though, is going to be dark. Let's give us some sunlight. Does have any suggestions for the lighting? Mongrelmen typically have dark vision, so technically they don't need light. I think only Vorkstag needs light, so I think his might be the only room with an ongoing light source if it's the day. Yeah, a lot of people use Foundry for it. I've been using FGU back when I was running first edition campaigns on a regular basis. So when I started playing second edition, I just carried on with Fantasy Grounds because it's what I know. But yes, a lot of people use Foundry. I am on the fence about Foundry. It has some nice perks to it, but I am more comfortable with Fantasy Grounds. Mostly people use Foundry because it doesn't cost as much. But if you want, yeah. They both have their perks. I'm not going to crap on Foundry because it definitely has some things I like about it. Since I play in a campaign that uses Foundry. But it has its weaknesses too, and Fantasy Grounds has the same thing. Like, Fantasy Grounds has its perks, it's got its weaknesses. I think Fantasy Grounds' biggest weakness is the fact that most people use Foundry, and because of that, you get less support, I find, from community. So, because the community mostly uses Foundry, most modules and extensions and such, most people use the And then my train of thought is lost. Yeah, because most people use Foundry for second ed, you don't get as much extension support in Fantasy Grounds. So, which kind of sucks because Dungeons and Dragons is also trying to get people away from virtual tabletops. See, that was a problem. Is I used to only play in physical tables as well. Obviously, COVID caused some problems with that. Limited friend groups also caused a problem. We lost a bunch of people who didn't want to play anymore. So that caused some problems. So as our friend group got smaller, or people moved on to other things like D&D and stuff like that, we had to resort to recruiting Americans because I'm Canadian. So we had to start looking online to find people to play with. And so now we pretty much do only virtual. And even as much as I'd love to run a physical, things like this, like the ability to do the battle maps and such, I don't know how I would translate all the tools I have now into an actual physical table. So that's kind of the problem. I've gotten so used to having like battle maps and figures and artwork and all this other stuff that, yeah, the idea of running on an actual table again, besides the fact having people hanging out, is less appealing than it used to be. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the issue. Like, I used to hand draw maps and color them, and it took forever to do. Actually, funny enough, this map I'm working on now, I started running this campaign before COVID. And I got the first 2 books done. I actually have the physical maps that I hand drew and colored of this map and the previous ones. Actually, I think this is the actual map I was working on, a physical copy of. I'm not an artist by any means, so it's just a lot of doing the best I could. And that's the other problem, is I'm not artistic in any way, shape, or form, so that causes its own issues. But for a while there, I was going to get things like a 3D printer so I can print figures. I might run a physical campaign again at some point if I have the people. Actually, there's somebody who's looking to get me to to intro them and a bunch of their friends into tabletop, and they want to do physical. And I'll probably do it, but I still think running on virtual is just my preference. I could see having everybody bring like laptops and we all sit at the same table and we all play virtually that way, or having like a big TV with the battle map on it and I control all the stuff and they kind of just say what they want to do, but doing all the dice rolling and such physically, but actually having like a TV to do the virtual map. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, either have it on the table itself, or you just have a monitor that the DM controls. That's also an option. Then everybody actually physically rolls, and you keep track of stuff like you do normally. I would do that. I don't think I would ever do paper maps ever again, or dry erase maps. If I do maps, it has to be digital now. I just, there's so many options, and the ability to like grab open the images and go like, hey, look, here's an NPC, this is what he looks like, and stuff like that. Like, not actually having to have book stuff and printed stuff. It's like, oh, you want to find something, okay, let's here's the city of Lepidstadt. You get, like, it's just so much faster too. I'd have to dual screen it, obviously, just because you'd have to have like personal stuff on there too. Like if I want to pull up bestiary stuff or Google, like even the virtual tabletops or the physical tabletops, we all had tablets or phones or laptops. Like I don't remember the last time I didn't play with a laptop. My character sheet back in first edition was all on Hero Lab. So even then, like all my stuff was still digital anyways, so converting over to a virtual tabletop didn't matter. But yeah, like the difference between this and Foundry or Roll20, I'm an old Roll20 user too. That's what we first started using during COVID. Not a big fan of Roll20 for various reasons, but yeah, Foundry's still fine. I just, like I said, I've invested a lot of money into FGU, and that's really what it boils down to. There's really, I don't really have a specific bias. Yeah, I think it's just more comfort. But I'm also only now learning Foundry. So. But one thing I do wish is that, and I know it will never happen, is that you'd have that cross-linking. Like if you buy a book from Paizo, like if you buy a PDF from Paizo, it gives you the access to stuff on FG, or gives you the access to stuff on Foundry, even with an added fee. But having to spend $40 on a PDF, and then $40 to get it unlocked on FGU, and then potentially $40 to get it unlocked on Foundry, just doesn't work. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. That was the problem. If you didn't have a tight friend group from like school or work or whatever, good luck. Like even now, like we play with people online, and we struggle sometimes to fill fill spots. Like my current campaign on Sundays that I run, I have to run a DM NPC because people are fickle. People just don't stick around, or you get problem people, and then you have to kick them and replace them. And it's just, even that's just tedious. It's just quicker to replace people online than it is in person. And you always run into that problem of, okay, well now this person who caused a big hoopla on my house knows where I live. What are they going to do later? I've had that happen in the past. If you go to a gaming store, many of the gaming stores around here that I did go to and run campaigns from, one, you have a bunch of spectators who then want to get involved. On occasion is fine, but you get these random spectators get really disruptive, and then that causes problems with the campaign. People don't want to role play in front of a group of strangers, or then you have table fees you have to deal with. And table fees can get expensive because they're like, oh, you got $5 an hour. Okay, well, is everybody chipping in? Well, what about your poor friends? Your poor friends aren't going to chip in. So just, like I said, unless you have a good friend group, it just doesn't work. And I've never had that good friend group for a very long time. Switching cities didn't help either. Gather information. Yeah, I think it's just be gather information on this one. Okay. Now the map's pretty much good. But yeah, Fantasy Grounds needs to do some work to compete with Foundry. Just because, see, Fantasy Grounds is good because it covers a lot of have a lot of different games they support. But the problem is that the two biggest, which is D&D and Pathfinder, they're losing the D&D people. In a lot of the D&D people, because Wizards of the Coast is essentially making their own virtual table, and you're going to almost be required to use it. So Fantasy Grounds is going to lose a lot of the D&D people for that. Foundry is doing such an excellent job with community support for Pathfinder 2nd Edition that they are losing a lot of people for Pathfinder. Fantasy Grounds needs to start looking into the most popular mods within Foundry and essentially start implementing them into the core. And I think they are. I think Fantasy Grounds is doing it, but I think they need to do it quicker. And instead of charging for these things, they need to start implementing them for free. Like, I've spent way too much to just bail on Fantasy Grounds, but to be honest, if it does get to the point where the number of free access stuff that I really want, like Foundry's got a bestiary thing that I really want that doesn't exist within Fantasy Grounds. If there's enough things like that, they're gonna eventually lose me, and that would be unfortunate because I really like this program. Okay, how do I want to phrase this one? Oh God, yeah, no, it's. I have a personal hate on for Wizards. Sorry, I'm gonna rephrase that. It's not Wizards that did it; it's Hasbro that did it. Because it's the parent company that ultimately is responsible. They're the ones that decided to destroy Dungeons and Dragons and, in my opinion, Magic the Gathering. Wizards of the Coast is not the Wizards of the Coast of the past. They're a completely different entity now. It's like any big company that comes and absorbs the other one. Once it's absorbed, it's no longer the same thing. You see the same thing with Marvel. You see the same things with Lucasfilm. You see the same things with all these different properties. The moment they're bought out, they're not the same thing. Blizzard isn't the same company it used to be. Like the number of things, BioWare, like the list is almost infinite of companies that have kind of just stopped being what they were, and they're basically a completely different entity. But yeah, Wizards and Hasbro absolutely despise third party. But I also think they hate their customers. I think these big corporations hate their customers too. At least they hate the old guard. They hate the old customers. They hate the customers that remember Wizards when they were Wizards. That remember TSR when they had D&D. They hate us remembering how good things were. They hate the nostalgia. They hate the past. They buy the property and then go, it's ours now. We're going to make it what we want to be, not what it was. And it's a really, really, really bad way of doing things. I don't understand why they do it, but they all do it. No problem. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing in this part, because a lot of what I'm doing is rewriting and redefining the campaign, because it's not a straight one-to-one conversion. I don't even know how much of the original campaign is going to exist by the time I'm done. At least 50%, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. Do I want DC 11? No. DC 14. Okay, what do I want? This part I want the various... I want them to have some kind of ability to get some info on these guys. How many do they have in the book? 3. Okay, I need a list of 10 rumors about Vorkstag and Grinds. Use the 3 listed in the book and create 7 more that are based in truth, based 7 more that hint what they may encounter, but base it on aspects of the business and general rumor. I don't know. Don't know if this prompt will work. Okay, so 3 they have here are respected merchants, no workers ever seen, and the friends in high places. Okay. Okay, that one's not bad, hinting at the acid. Okay, that was good. I don't like this one that suggests that they're involved in the black market for body parts. You know what? That's not a terrible one. Because the goal is that they're going to Vorkstag and Grinds to find additional information. They've implicated them possibly in Sanctuary, possibly in Mrast. So at this point, they've already got that assumption. And they're just going to confirm, so that's fine. And you have the Mongolman workers. I don't like number 10. That suggests that Vorkstag is a skin stealer. To something. Okay, what do we have for combats here? We are dealing with the Golem, which is one about those, the Flesh Warps, something about Grind, Vorkstag, Monculus. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Related to Huh. Less blatant. I don't want them to call out Varkstag as a skin stealer, because technically in 2nd edition there are no skin stealers, so. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I don't need the DCs, because it's just going to be a flat DC. This is 2nd edition. We don't need this. This will at least give my players a little bit of an idea. Nothing major to hint at, but just something to sink their teeth into. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this one. So, this one's right from the book. Vorsang Grind are well-respected merchants. Grind is a peculiar-looking fellow, though gnomes are always that way, you know. He's originally supposed to be a Night Stalker? What was he supposed to be? Dark Creeper. He's supposed to be a Dark Creeper, but I'm changing him to an Umbral Gnome. So it doesn't really matter. No workers ever seen going on shift at the Chimic Works, but the smoke from the chimney never stops. Odd that hints at the fact that he's got some kind of non-stop workers. They might think undead. It's not the case. It's just slave labor. Master Vork has a great many friends in high places, and whenever any minor trouble comes his way, someone's always ready to speak up on his behalf, which happens to be kind of a hint at the big bad, but not really a hint at the big bad. It's kind of weird. They say that the smoke from the Chimic Works can burn your lungs if you get too close. No wonder no one works there. Which is not actually true. But it should indicate that there's a lot of chemicals. Some folks claim to have seen strange figures prowling around the Chimic Works at night. But when they get closer, figures vanish like smoke. So, roll d10 for result. Let's see. Rumor has it that the Chimic Works is guarded by a monstrous hound that can tear a man apart in seconds. That is the Golem. Heard that Vorsang Grind have been buying up large quantities of rare and dangerous chemicals. No one knows what they're for, but it can't be good. That was just obvious one, but it will let them know there are a lot of alchemical stuff there. Let's talk that Vorsang Grind's clients are just as shitty as they are. Some even say they're involved in the black market for body parts. That one I'm iffy about. I feel like it hints too much. But at this point, like I said, at this point they already the players should know that things are going on. Especially in the body parts region. So it's not like it is giving anything away. So I've heard that strange sounds come from the Chimic Works at all hours. Grinding metal, hissing steam, and sometimes screams. And that's whenever the mongrelmen, now flesh warped, get beaten. For misbehaving. Vorkstag always seems to wear heavy concealing clothing. Yeah, just insinuates that he's got something else going on. Okay, we're going to keep that for our rumors in the event that the players actually bother. When it comes to my players, you can never tell. Okay. Works tag and grinds. Time it works. Opening scene. Okay. I need an opening. When they first arrive at the Chimic Works before they try to enter or communicate. I think I need two. I need one for the... No. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, let's make some changes. Okay, as you approach Works and Grants, Chimic Works, late afternoon. They could try this at night. Okay, as you approach Works and Grinds, Chimic Works, shadows stretch long and creeping across the grimy streets of Lepstat. The air here is thick with acrid stench of chemicals, sharp and pungent, stinging your nostrils and burning the back of your throats. You have to blink a few times, the fumes bring tears to your eyes. So far, so good. Ahead of you, a tall iron chimney juts into the sky like a scar on the horizon. It belches sickly yellow clouds that drift lazily above the small brick factory. Large leaded windows are set into the building's outer walls, but they're so coated with grime that they're completely opaque, swallowing what little light might reach them. Above a heavy oak gate, a tarnished sign reads Volkswagen and Grind, Chimic Works, in bold ornate letters. The sign is old, like the building itself, giving off a sense that this place has been in operation for many years. Makes sense. As you draw closer, you're struck by the eerie silence of the place. No sounds of workers, no creaking carts or clanging tools, just the occasional hiss from deep within the factory, like the building itself is alive and exhaling toxic breath. The walls surrounding the factory are high, topped with broken glass, clearly meant to deter any intruders. The smell of this place is almost unbearable. A harsh blend of acidic fumes and something metallic, like blood. Clings the air, mixing with a fog that seems to linger stubbornly in the streets, refusing to disperse. I'm on the fence about the blood comment, but at the same time, it's kind of setting the mood of putting in their minds that this place is not safe. Which they may have some doubt at this point still, so. Heavy bell hangs by the gate, its surface dulled by neglect and time. Your footsteps echo off the cobblestones as you approach, but the sound seems to die in the oppressive quiet of the courtyard beyond. Despite the silence, a constant plume of smoke from the chimney tells you that the factory is far from abandoned. Standing before the gate, You can't shake the feeling that something is watching you. Maybe it's just your nerves, but you swear you see faint traces of movement behind the blackened windows. Shadowy figures that disappear as quickly as they appear. Okay. Then you find yourself standing at the gate of Worksang Grind's Chemic Works. The bell is there, waiting to be rung, but the factory head looms like a dark, silent sentinel guarding its secrets. What do you do? Okay, I like that. I like it. We're going to keep it. We're not going to make any changes. But we are going to make some additions. Because they may actually decide to ring the bell. And that will depend on what time of day. Okay. Oops. Okay. If they ring the bell. Let's see if this actually suggests anything for me. Okay, you hear a slight creak as a small window near the upper entrance to the loading bay opens. A figure peeks out, his face obscured by shadows. After a brief pause, a raspy voice calls down to you. Who's out there, then? We weren't expecting any visitors. State your business quickly. This is a place of work, not a social club. Okay, I like how they're already making Grinds into a bit of a jerk. Figure leans out just a little more, revealing a small hunched man wrapped in filthy rags, his features barely visible beneath layers of grime and darkness. If you're here to make a delivery, you're late. If you're here to buy, well, you've missed the window for orders. And if you're here to cause trouble, best turn around now. We're not known for our hospitality. There's a moment of silence as if he's waiting to see if you'll leave, but when it's clear you're not going anywhere, he lets us slowly decide. Well, speak up. I've got better things to do than stand around chatting with the likes of you. What does the book originally want to happen here? They want a dialogue? Or is Grind supposed to just be like, screw off? Let's see, do they have anything here? Okay, do they have anything but grinds? No. Okay, so they assume that the players are just going to invade. Kind of like the idea of having that back and forth. I'm going to give them a chance. And they're going to have to use deception on them. But he's not somebody who can be deceived, because not only is he it's less about the fact that he can't be lied to or can't be deceived. It's more a matter of no matter what they try to do, it's either he doesn't leave the building for any reason anyways, and he'll just wait for Vorkstag to come back and grab whatever it is. That's Vorkstag's job. Vorkstag's the one who leaves and comes back under his various disguises. Grinds just maintains the place itself. Like, he's not going to leave. So they can convince him of whatever they want, is not going to change what he does, though. So they're going to have no choice but to invade, which is the point. Okay, this is supposed to be locked. The rest should be fine for now. Okay. Now this is when things start speeding up and getting a little bit more interesting. Okay, next I need to set up the scene and encounter in the courtyard. How do I want to set this up? First, okay, scene 1. The players need to figure out how to get into the courtyard. They have 2 primary choices. They can either go through the locked gate or climb over the, not so much trapped, but hazardous wall. Okay, what does the book suggest for... Okay, so they have 3... No, is barred. So they would have to force through. DC 25 makes it extremely difficulty, so 16 plus 5, that's a DC 21 force open. To break through the gate would require a DC 1 force open check. Hacking through the gate would create too much noise, and then my brain shuts down. To create too much noise and draw too much tension. Second, they could have someone climb open, which would be a DC 25. Wow, they're just not going to make this easy. Which would be a DC 21 climb check. Oh, the wall is... How high is it? The wall is made of brick and top of broken glass. How tall is the gate? It doesn't matter in first edition how tall it is, but it definitely matters in second edition. How tall is the gate? 20 feet? 15 feet? I don't know. If I have to, I'll make up a number, but... 20 might be much, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it is. I feel like 20 is a good number. Just leaning over. Yeah, let's make it 20 feet. I like 20 feet. Yeah, we're gonna go 20 feet. The wall is 20 feet. Oops. No, 20 feet high. At the top, players need to make a DC. Scott set to 18, I believe. What is the check for this? 18 reflex. So if an 18 check, let's go DC 16. Yeah. 16 reflex, or take 1d6 piercing damage from the glass. Scene 2. Next is once they enter the courtyard, describe what they see. Have a separate section for if they climb, describing the barred gate, and a section for, is it locked or is it just barred? Okay, so it'll be a 2-round action. If they wish to take off the bar, which requires 2 actions to remove. Next, how many rounds do I want to give them? It is a golem, therefore it does not need time to wake up. Yeah. Okay, what are we running actually? Where are we going with? We are going with a variant Carrion golem. Alright. Describe the, is it flesh golem that they call it? Yeah, the flesh golem hound. Flesh golem hound as it exits its doghouse? Is that what we're going to describe it as? A doghouse? Kennel. Yeah, sure. They describe kennels to describe kennel. It exits its kennel. And prepares to attack. Is there anything else I need to describe? Them gain over. This general setup of the area. And then the flesh golem. Nope, I think that's good. Okay, 2- fork stag. Why do I keep on going 2-2? And grinds, trying works the courtyard. Okay, as you stand before the gate works and grace giant works, you're presented with 2 options seeking entry. The first is a large, heavy oak gate. The bard's entrance is solidly built, meant to withstand force, and doesn't look like it will give way easily. The second option is the wall itself. 20 feet high and topped with broken glass, clearly designed to discourage climbers. Yep. I have no problem presenting them the two options, and then obviously if they have spells or whatever to circumvent it, then by all means, like, one of them could be a Konrasu with the Scuttle ancestry. I think Vishkanya might be another one that's an option. There's lots of options with climb. Okay, there are two options. If they choose force open. If they choose to force open the gate. You could try to force open the gate, but it'll take considerable effort. The wood is thick and reinforced, and you know that if you fail, you'll likely make enough noise to attract unwanted attention. The gate won't break easily. Right amount of force, you might just push it open. Okay. That gives them the second warning that, hey, this is going to be noisy. Okay, force open DC 21. Okay, if they choose to climb over the fence, or I guess it's more of a wall. The bricks are uneven and the surface is rough, making the climb treacherous. And even if you manage to reach the top, the broken glass is waiting for you, sharp and jagged, ready to slice into anyone who dares to cross. I'm gonna get rid of this first part. Okay, so the option to scale the wall. You take the option to scale the wall. Though it's far from an easy climb, the bricks are uneven and the surface is rough, making the climb treacherous and even okay. Cross. Okay. DC 21 climb. At the top, DC 16 reflex or take 1d6 piercing damage from the broken glass. Okay. When a player makes it into the courtyard, like, they're probably gonna climb, but maybe none of them can. Maybe they're all garbage at climbing athletics, which very much in this campaign could be. The thing is, they have so many options to just go and buy a climber's kit or grab something that will help them climb. Like, this isn't one of those encounters that they can't just come back later. So there's no reason for them to play this one dumb. Okay, when the players make the courtyard, if they broke open the gate, the groan, the heavy gate slowly swings open, revealing the courtyard beyond. The ground is a mix of cracked cobblestone and patches of weeds struggling to survive in the toxic environment. To your left, an iron-wheeled cart sits ready for deliveries, a service code and a thin layer of grime. The cart is eerily quiet. The only sound, the faint hiss of steam escaping from somewhere within the factory. Yep. That is some good atmosphere there. If they climbed over the wall. After successfully scaling the wall, you find yourself looking down to the courtyard. The ground below is cobblestone and even cracked in places, with patches of weeds struggling to survive in the toxic environment. The gate you bypass is below you, sturdy and barred from the inside, clearly meant to keep unwanted visitors out. You could remove the bar from this side, making it easier for your companions to enter, but doing so would take some time and effort. It's not just a simple go in, remove, get out. Nothing can be that simple. Okay, as you step into the courtyard, the first thing that catches your eye is a large kennel in the southeast corner. Just as you notice it, there's a low, rumbling growl, and a hulking shape begins to emerge from the darkness within the kennel. A massive hound, his flesh patchwork and unnatural lumbers out. His eyes glow faintly with a sickly light. As it bares his teeth, you see that its jaws are filled with jagged metal. Chains rattle as it drags itself free of the kennel. You realize this creature is known as a guard dog. It's a Okay, I'm good with most of this. When they enter the courtyard, and either begin to look around or move to unbar the gate, which requires 2 actions. Come on, let me drag. It's a mechanical and flesh crafted hound. It's clearly being trained to like to be cool. Create for me an image of the flesh hound. Image, encounter. It's 2:30. Shouldn't be having issues with creating images already. Maybe it is. Okay. That is not what I want. The picture looks like more than a person. It is also outside in a courtyard. Yes. Okay. Kind of like this, actually. Okay, I'm going to do it again. The creature is more accurately a Carrion golem hound and should be outside and not in a kennel. Let's give it another shot. Carrion Golem Hound. Actually, I like this one more. Yes, we're gonna go with this image because this image is creepy. How to describe this? False men fly swarm amalgamations. Form instead, they appear to result some students crafting. Are they supposed to be metallic in this? It's legacy content. Is there anything that isn't legacy? Maybe if I go here. No, still legacy. Flesh Golem. Ooh, they actually have a Flesh Golem now. It's in Monster Core. It's now a charnel creation. Okay. I could de-level a charnel creation. Okay. We're gonna delete this. Charnel creation. Charnel creation chance going berserk. Okay, let's grab our Excel sheet because we're redoing these things. This is going to be a charnel creation, de-leveled, variant, new level 3, so it's going to be a -5. And we need another one over here, I believe. Move. Carrion Golem variant. Nope. We want a charnel creation variant. -4. This would be a more advanced version. Oh, we got the intro done. Okay. Grotesque Patchwork Hound, which is Charnel Creation Hound. V and G. This is a V and G version. Actually, I can put the subcategory V and G. All right. We are going to grab the image. Copy image and new. So here is our hound, our charnel creation. I like it. Save as images. Monsters. Charnel creation hound. Monsters, drag over, skip. Assets. There we go. I don't bother making tokens. Bestiary images. Create map record. We will drag you here, move this here, and move you here. Okay, encounter. Why do I keep putting twos? Keep doing it, I don't know why. Courtyard. Okay, let's get this creature de-leveled. We're going from an 8 to a 3, I believe. Double check. We are making it a 3. Okay. So, de-level it by 5. Okay. Ability modifiers. We got a 5. So, de-level by 1. We're going to leave the negatives as the negatives. 3 down to, so -2 on this one. I'll leave the others alone. Perception is 12, so 1 above, so 5. Athletics is the low end. No. It's actually really good, so we'll make it 11. Items, technically it's a 3, so it doesn't matter. Armor class from a 26 to an 18. Okay, saving throws from 18. So we'll make it 11. So 1 more. So we'll make it 7. And again, 1 lower. So make it a 8. Hit points are at 140, which is the high end of this. So we'll make it 48. Has no numbers. Oh, it does have a number. Okay. Set at 5, but at a 3. No, we're just gonna leave it at 5. Because 8 says minimum 6, but it says 5. So we'll set it to minimum actually, so we'll go with a 3. Okay, strikes. It actually has different ones. It has the be a bite. 20 brings it down to 12. Let's see. It's also going to have a slam. Actually, this will be the slam. And then it will also have a bite. Magical. Ooh, is this thing large? It is. This thing in the book, though, is supposed to be medium. So we're going to change it. We're going to make it medium. So it's not going to have reach. Glad I caught that. Okay. what are we gonna do for damage? Make the bite agile. Yeah, we'll make the bite agile. Same bonus, just agile. It's slam 8, 2d12, 2d10 plus 7. Okay, 3 would be 1d10 plus 6. Plus 6 bludgeoning. And we'll do 1d8 plus 6 on the bite. I kind of want to add a bleed to it. Maybe drop it down even more. Maybe 1d6 plus 5. Plus... What's the difference in damage? 3? Plus 1d3 bleed. Persistent bleed. So another monster I can think of that has the same thing, so I can compare. Not if I could spell. Feel like a crocodile would have something like this. No, they'd have a grab. That makes sense too. What else would have bleed? Blood Seeker? Blood Seeker. Nope, just attach. What else might have a bleed on their bite? Would they have one of those? No, I know how to check this. Perfect. I wasn't too sure if I had that right, but apparently I do. Okay. We're gonna give it a bleed. It's kind of mean, but... Okay. Has a chance of going berserk if it has 40 or fewer hit points. Well, what was this original hit points? 140? Original hit points were 140. So when it gets down to a third-ish. So third-ish for this would be... Should I go 15? 10? 10 or 15? I'm going to say 15. Turn the creature must see DC 5 group berserk. If your creature roll attacks nearest living creature or object. Okay, doesn't really matter, I guess. That's gonna change. 8. 2d4. Okay. Anytime a trunk creature will be affected by effect of the electricity trait, loses a slow condition has against hit points equal to half the damage the spell would have dealt. It's 2d4 hit points. I could leave that. Is that a rule for charnel creations in general? No. We're gonna make it 1d4. I think that's more reasonable. It is about half the level, so I figure it evens out a bit. Crucial takes 3, 6. Okay. Everyone tries to grab a nearby creature. Okay, that definitely needs to be scaled down. To what, though? A third. So 1d6. Obviously, it's 2d6. I just based the damage on the fact that level 8 is 96. And then at third is 46 on this one, so it's about half. So I decided to third it. Guess I'm being a little bit too nice, but Berserk Slam, if it hits, deals 1d6 extra damage, knocked. I might keep Berserk Slam. Trigger strikes with his fist. With a slam. Damage not start phone. Berserk. 1d6 extra damage while Berserk. Yeah, that's not bad. I'll do it 1d4 though. Again, the goal is not to completely obliterate them. That comes later. Okay, I'm content with this. You go unidentified, evil, well not evil, but not friendly. You go there. You go there, close that. And anything else about this area? Nope. Do that, and courtyard is done. I thought I was going to get a lot more done than I have. That's just how it works. Okay, E2. What is E2? E2 is this section here. Yes. And that is the storage. Okay. I know my players are going to want to try the diplomacy. And because I'm not trying to murder them, the intent here is to give them every opportunity to use their skills. So, this next section is for the E2 storage. E2 storage. E2 storage. The first scene. Scene 1. Okay, I need to double check Flesh Warp. Flesh Warp, do they have low light? Can they get dark? Yes, they can. So these ones will all be deep visions, which works perfectly. Okay. Are the doors locked? No. Which I guess makes sense. Yeah. Describe the room to the players. Include how many? 3. D3. Mongrel folk. Mongrelman. Men. Huddled behind crates. I'm going to give them the opportunity to diplomatize. Does the stable? No, the stable does not have enemies. Good. Hidden behind crates. The Mongol. The 3. The Mongrelmen. As described in the book are being replaced with flesh warp. Yes, with flesh warp commoners from Pathfinder 2E. If you need more info to better describe them, I can supply that. Scene 2. Players have 2 choices. They can either attack or try to calm them down. I want them to have the choice. If they attack, okay. The flesh warp commoners are in a defensive posture, clearly not looking for a fight, but ready to defend themselves if necessary. There's 2 choices. If they attack, then combat begins. If they choose to converse, then the DC would be... Now, these ones are the only ones that are going to be able to be convinced. Simply because they are currently away from Vorkstag and Grinds. So, the ones inside this area will not be able to be convinced because they're too terrified of Vorkstag and Grinds. They know that Vorkstag and Grinds will kill them and all of them if necessary. But these ones I want to actually have the chance. Okay, what does Grinds intimidate? Like, I'm going to be making some changes to Grinds, but what would Grinds' intimidate be? Let's figure that out. Does he have intimidation trained? No. How about Vorkstag? One of them has to have intimidation. No? That doesn't make sense. Okay. How have they convinced them then? This isn't... Do they diplomatize them? Because that would make things different. That'd make things way harder. Okay, they're cowed. Okay, there's got... Okay, Vorkstags... I get why. Improved initiative, iron will. Acrobatics, craft, disguise, knowledge, perception, languages, bull strength, visibility, spider. Okay, I'm going to give Vorkstag Intimidate, just because it makes no sense. Well, thievery is not part of bribe. Thievery is a purely mechanical skill. And wouldn't in any way, shape, or form actually help in convincing somebody to do something. But in this case, Vorkstag and Grinds used Intimidate, but neither of them know Intimidate. So I'm going to have to give them Intimidate to make it make sense. How about a Shambling Man? Is it an actual creature? No, it's not. So, what level is Vorkstag? Vorkstag is going to be level 2, so he's going to be equal to the party. That would make his Intimidate... What do I want his Charisma to be? How charismatic is he supposed to be? Relatively charismatic. So let's give him a base +2. He won't be an expert, so he'd be trained only. So level 2, trained 2, charisma 2. Maybe give him a circumstance bonus of 2. And you can probably... okay. Silver Tongue. Silver Tongue mutagen does work on intimidation. It gives you an item bonus. Okay. He can make level 1, so that's another 1. So that's 2, 4... 6, 7, 9. Because I'm going to give him a +2 circumstance for killing their leader. Oh, no. That's not what I'm trying to figure out. So the scenario they're in right now is the players will end up going through this door and they'll run into 3 slaves. And these slaves are who they're going to be dealing with. The book originally just wants them to murder Hobo. Because it's a Paizo adventure path. And it automatically assumes that every player is going to be a murder hobo. I want to give these players the opportunity to have these slaves potentially give up without a fight. So they have to overcome the slaves' fear of their slave masters. So if they're going to use in diplomacy, intimidate, I don't think deception necessarily works, depending on how they decide to go about it. Maybe deception as well works, but they have to be able to overcome the slaves' need to defend the property of their master. So they have to overcome that fear. So I'm trying to figure out what I want the DC to be for them to overcome that. And I want that to be kind of a base level. Like, they're not competing against the slave master's role for the day. They're overcoming the DC of what, if the slave master would roll a 10, what would the slave master get? Well, in this case, it's 19. So I'm trying to figure out what the DC should be for them to overcome that. So, because Vorkstag, who is the person who would be the person to do that, would be a level 2 character, trained in so level 2, so that gives you 2 points. Trained in English. Trained in intimidation, that's 2 more. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt of a +2 charisma bonus, so I should actually make it a +3. It'll be +2 or +3. Because I haven't made Vorkstag yet, so this one might actually be changing. So that's another 2, say. He would have used a Silver Tongue Elixir. That's another +1 item bonus, because he's an alchemist and he can make those. And then a +2 circumstance, because the circumstance in which they took these slaves was they killed the original leader, so there's that ongoing fear. So I'm thinking DC 19. Keep in mind that this level DC 16 is average. So DC 19 would be considered hard, which is fine. So if they can overcome the DC of 19, then they basically defeat the slaves without the slaves fighting back. So it needs to be a challenging DC, simply because they are circumventing a combat. And they may end up needing to, if they have an alchemist of their own, using their own Silver Tongue Elixir to give them an edge to do it. So yeah, the players have 2 choices. If they choose to converse, the DC would be a 19 check in order to overcome the inherent fear. Okay, is there any items that are gonna be in this location? Oh, yes. Okay. Scene 3, and this will be the last scene I do this stream. So I'll finish this and then I'll end the stream. I'll be back again this evening to do some Final Fantasy XIV, and tomorrow to do more campaign stuff. And obviously, all of this can be found in the VODs. Though I need to trim them down. There's a lot of me just sitting here trying to think. So I might have to actually put some work into editing at some point. But there'd have to be some reason for it. Okay. Treasure. How do they have it written out here? It's just the crates, I'm guessing. Boxes room. Okay. Among the various crates and boxes, the players can find 1, 2, 3. 6. Bomb ampules? Is that how I want to describe them? How does... Alchemical bombs. How are they described? Okay. 6 flasks filled with 3 different kinds of chemicals. What level are matchsticks? I think matchsticks are just level 1, right? Matchstick. Chemical sums applied to one end of this tiny wooden stick. What level are they? If they're level... Ooh, they're level 1. Okay, I'll make them identify them. Just because I'm mean that way. 5 wooden sticks with some kind of chemical dried onto one end. 6 bottles of... What color is bleach? Like its natural state. Like, I guess it's clear. Okay, to move color. What you? Okay. I had a feeling that bleach wasn't... Because obviously this is a fantasy setting, so the bleach is going to be... It's natural. So, here's the thing about combat. If my players are smart, I'm laughing because you'd actually have to watch some of our live streams when we're playing. If my players are smart, they would use non-lethal. But non-lethal comes at a cost. You get -2 to hit when you use non-lethal. Because of how the second edition rules work, and death isn't immediate, technically speaking, they don't tend to pull punches, they just stabilize at the end. So they just do lethal damage and then just cast stabilize on anybody who's still alive. So the question is, if they decide to use non-lethal, if they decide to take the -2, that's why I'm rewriting. So this is, I don't know if you know anything about this specific adventure path, but Paizo has a tendency to write everything as a big aggressive enemy. So this specific one doesn't actually give any direction of, are they, like, it's basically, they open the doors, there's 3 mongrelmen, the mongrelmen then attack. That's just literally, that's all the direction that they have in this thing. There's no diplomacy, there's no nothing. So that's why I'm rewriting a vast majority of things. So yes, they can use non-lethal. If they use non-lethal, they can just use lethal and then maybe stable. And this is the thing about my players. They're kind of the mentality of, we can use non-lethal and take the negatives, which is a 10% reduction to hit. That's not small. Like, taking a 10% chance to miss, additional chance to miss, is a big ask. And their policy is, well, they attacked us first, or they attacked us, therefore, if they survive or not is their problem. That's why I'm rewriting this as, they're huddled behind crates. They're not looking for a fight. You can choose to fight them, but they've taken a defensive position. Then my players kind of go, oh, if we attack them, we're the bad guys. We're the bad people. Now, in this case, they're still going to do the same. Like, these guys are going to defend the property, and that's the thing. These guys are literally breaking and entering. I've already warned them that I'm going to be definitely using divine intercession liberally. So, against players who are doing things that are very blatantly not good. Desna's a big recurring god in this AP, though you wouldn't think she would be. Okay, I'm actually running Age of Ashes as well. We're on middle of book 5 right now. And yeah, Age of Ashes is still written in the first edition style. A lot of newer people don't realize that Paizo has this bad habit of writing APs before the rules are out. Age of Ashes was written before they actually had the second edition rules completely figured out. So there's a lot of first edition habits in Age of Ashes, and multiple monsters are overtuned, and multiple combats are extremely overtuned in Age of Ashes. So depending on where you are, you may have run into a lot of TPK fights because of how they're written or how the monster's created. By about book 4, things start getting better. But the first 3 books, oh my god, are so poorly done in how combats are. Like, really bad. That's an actual AP that I want to rewrite. I want to rewrite the story. I want to rewrite the combats. I want to keep the overall premise. I think the premise is good. But I want to rewrite it to make the keep way more important throughout the campaign. A ton of combats need to be completely rewritten, especially in Book 2. Book 2 is garbage when it comes to the combats. Unless you have like an elite group of players who know the game inside and out, have all the rules down. Okay, so just a warning when it comes to the bandit camp, specifically. You are about to hit some really bad content. The bandit camp has one big issue, is it's written to chain the combats, to basically have the entire bandit camp attack almost all at the same time. I would highly suggest not doing what they say, and basically not initiating another group until the previous group is almost dead, and very much tempering the bringing in of new enemies. And you may even just say to heck with it. Certain enemies are just not going to join in, period, if your group is having trouble, because it is a very, very, very hard fight that is easily going to TPK the party if you run it as written. Now, when you get inside and deal with the mage chick after that, that fight's also really poorly written. You can run it as is, but I feel like how the mage chick is written is a very crappy send-off. The next big problem you're going to run into, and this is a big one, you're going to eventually get them into the cave where you find Renali. 100% have them meet Renali pretty much right away when you get into that section. Do not run it as written. Do not have it a like 50-50. There's a path where you go and meet the Barghest, and then there's the path where you meet Renali. 100% make them meet Renali before they deal with the Barghest. And 100% make sure they have leveled before you make them fight the Barghest. That fight is trash. Also, make sure you run that fight as a Barghest being very random, very chaotic, even to the point where just put confusion on the greater Barghest right at the beginning of the fight. Just have him constantly suffer from confusion, in which he every round randomly targets a new player, even to the point where he will just randomly target a fresh player, because he has the ability having Alec join is not a bad thing. Having Alec and Renali fight with the party. But the Barghest is supposed to basically be off his rockers. He's been alone for forever. He's supposed to basically be crazy. So if you give him, essentially, like I said, confusion, just have him randomly attack people, that's a good way of handling him. You might want to reconsider having him cast Blur on himself. And I would highly suggest not running, like, if you're running it through Fantasy Grounds or through the book. I think I'm in the remaster version right now, which doesn't work. Barghest. Because he's supposed to be a Barghest, not a greater Barghest, I believe. Okay. This is a Barghest. I know I'm going off kilter for what I'm supposed to be doing, but whatever. If I can help somebody not make the mistakes I did, I will do that. Because in book 2, when you get to the mine, do not run the mine as written. Whatever you do, do not run the mine as written. The mine as written is utter, just, it is a TPK waiting to happen. You really, like, have the, oh, yeah, the monkey men and the frog men, I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head, have them mock each other to the point where they literally will not help each other in combat, period. And if one group is fighting and the other group isn't, just have them watch. Like, these guys need to be so overconfident and stupid. So overconfident and stupid that they literally don't help each other. And whatever you do, yeah, that fight is stupid. Okay, so this is where you are. The C1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have these guys join in intermittently as you feel like your party, as you feel like your party actually can handle it. C8, when it comes to her, I don't know. I feel like Vaz, Lyrane, I'd almost say let her escape and bring her back again later. I'd almost have her be a recurring character, because I think she's more valuable if you have her as a recurring. But odds are your party's gonna just take her out. Yeah, D3, here you go. In the D3 section, when you fight this guy, 100% have Renali part of the fight. Even having Alec join in or be part of the fight. Yeah, he's a greater Barghest. He's a level 7. You guys, like, at this point in time, I think the players are like level 4. He's a level 7 with the Fang mutation. He's a TPK. Make sure they're level 4. 100% make sure they're level 4. Have 100% have Renali be there to join in. Yeah, absolutely have Renali be part of that fight. And like I said, I'd run him as a crazy man and just randomly attacking people, because he is going to crit every single time. Like, he is absolutely going to crit every single time. So at level 4, level 4, say the average armor class with armor and such is going to be another +5, so you're at 9. I think that's the only bonuses. And then you're going to be trained, maybe expert. Yeah, let's go trained. So 4, 8, 12. Let's say 12. 12 to 14. So the average AC is going to be about 24. He's got a plus 17. He's going to crit a lot. So just, yeah. He's got the fangs, so he's going to be doing persistent poison, plus his 2d10 plus 6. Like, he does so much. And his innate spells, blink at will. Either don't have him cast blink at all, or, like, don't let him cast any spells at all, or have him randomly do things. Like, you could even make a chart and have him go, this round he's going to cast a spell. This round he's going to attack. This round he's going to... And when he attacks, he's going to attack randomly, or he's going to cast spells randomly. It's just, it's rough. Like, it is rough. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. That fight was rough. And when you get to book 2, don't use the monsters right from the book. They released a specific book for the Chakwas, I think they're called, and stuff like that. Use the new book, because the book actually brings their power down. They nerfed a lot of the creatures in book 2, a lot of the Mwangi creatures in book 2 a lot. So that's a big thing. The towers are kind of garbage too. The towers are going to be rough. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's a lot wrong with that book. A lot wrong. Don't make the mistakes I did, if you can help it. Okay. Oh, I was almost done this. And 6 bottles of... I'm going way over what I want to go over, but whatever. 6 bottles of... whoops. I just dragged that out, and I didn't want to. A fluid containing a light greenish yellow fluid. Containing a light greenish yellow fluid. And what else? As well as a bottle of port. Okay. Well, it is 3:30, and though I would like to finish this, I think I do need to end here, as I only have an hour and a half until my next stream starts up, and I have a whole bunch of prep to do. So I'm going to end here and finish storage tomorrow. This stuff is already written out, so it shouldn't take me long to get that done. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Like I said, I will be back in about an hour and a half for some Final Fantasy 14. And then again tomorrow for more campaign stuff. Noon Mountain Time till 3 Mountain Time. So have yourselves a good afternoon, and I hope to see you later. Have a good day.